I still remember the smell of rain on the cracked pavement outside my father's old grocery shop in Queens. It had rained that evening, the kind of soft New York rain that makes the city feel less cruel for a moment. She was standing across the street, laughing, her hair tied loosely, her eyes full of dreams that were bigger than the neighborhood we came from. Her name was Elena. Back then, we were young enough to believe love was enough. We had nothing except hope, and sometimes not even that. My life was small, predictable, helping my father at the shop, studying at night, dreaming of a future I couldn't clearly see. Elena, on the other hand, dreamed loudly. She wanted lights, luxury, dresses that flowed like water, restaurants where no one checked the prices before ordering. "I don't want to live like this forever," she used to say, looking around at the peeling walls and old buildings. "I know," I'd reply. "Neither do I. I'll work harder, I promise." But promises from a poor man sound like lies to someone who is afraid of staying poor. Hi, my name is Peterson, and it's my story of love. Elena and I met in college. We both worked part-time jobs, me at the grocery shop, her at a cafe. We studied together, shared cheap pizza, laughed at things that didn't really matter. I loved her deeply, the kind of love that grows quietly and roots itself into your soul. I planned my future with her in it. Every late night of studying, every extra shift at the shop, every sacrifice, I believed it would all be worth it because one day we would stand together and say, "We made it." But love doesn't grow well in the soil of fear. One evening, she sat across from me in the cafe after her shift. Her hands were shaking slightly as she stirred her coffee. "We need to talk," she said. Those 4 words have destroyed more dreams than wars ever did. She told me she had met someone, a businessman, older, wealthy, confident, someone who could give her everything now, not someday. "I'm tired of waiting," she whispered. "I don't want to struggle anymore." I begged her. Not loudly, not dramatically. I just asked her to believe in me. She looked at me with tears in her eyes, but her decision was already made. "I love you," she said, "but love doesn't pay bills." And just like that, she walked out of my life. After she left, the world felt hollow. I didn't cry much, not because I wasn't hurting, but because I didn't have time. Life doesn't pause for broken hearts, especially when you're poor. I buried myself in work and studies. I graduated. I failed. I tried again. I learned about business, investments, mistakes, losses. I slept in tiny apartments, ate cheap food, and worked until my body screamed for rest. There were nights I thought of her, wondering if she was happy, if she remembered me, if she ever regretted her choice. Then one day, I stopped wondering, because pain, when ignored long enough, turns into ambition. Years passed. Slowly, quietly, my life changed. I built a company from the ground up. It wasn't luck, it was obsession. I worked like a man possessed. Failure scared me less than going back to the life I once had. By the time I turned 40, I was wealthy. Not flashy rich, but powerful rich. The kind of wealth that gives you silence, respect, and control. But even with all that, something inside me remained empty. It was a cold evening in Manhattan. I had just finished a meeting and decided to walk instead of taking the car. The city was alive, lights glowing, people rushing, taxis honking. Then I saw her. She was sitting near a subway entrance, wrapped in a worn coat, her hair dull, her face thinner, older. At first, I thought my mind was playing tricks on me. But when she looked up, our eyes met. Time froze. "Elena," I whispered. She stared at me for a long moment, disbelief written all over her face. Then her eyes filled with tears. "Was it really you?" I barely recognized her, but my heart did. It remembered everything. She tried to stand, but her legs trembled. I helped her sit back down. "What happened?" I asked softly. She laughed bitterly. "Life." We sat there for hours as the city moved around us. She told me everything. The rich man she married had promised her the world. At first, it was luxury, penthouse apartments, expensive trips, designer clothes. She felt like she had one life. But slowly, the truth revealed itself. He was controlling, cruel. He treated her like property. When she got older, when her youth faded, when she questioned him, he replaced her. Younger women, new faces. One day she was simply thrown out. No money, no support, no dignity. I gave him my youth, she cried, and he used me like I was nothing. I listened quietly, my heart heavy, not with anger, but with sadness. I made the wrong choice, she whispered. I betrayed you, and God punished me for it. I looked at her, sitting on the cold pavement, and felt something strange. Not revenge, not satisfaction, only sorrow. She looked at my coat, my watch, the calm confidence in my voice. You're rich now, she said softly. Aren't you? Yes, I replied. God was kind to me. She took my hand, her fingers trembling. Please, she said. Forgive me. I was young. I was foolish. I didn't understand love. Her eyes searched mine, hoping for a miracle. I closed my eyes for a moment. I thought of the man I was when she left, the broken, desperate boy who begged her to stay. That man was gone. I forgive you, I said quietly. She broke down, crying like a child. But forgiveness doesn't mean going back, I continued. What happened was God's decision, not mine, not yours. She looked at me, fear creeping into her expression. Can we start again? She asked. Please, I don't want to die alone. My heart ached, but my soul was clear. I can help you, I said. I will take care of you financially. I'll make sure you're safe, warm, and fed. But I cannot marry you. Why? She whispered. Because love needs trust, I replied. And trust, once broken, cannot be rebuilt the same way. She nodded slowly, understanding the truth she could no longer escape. I arranged an apartment for her. Medical care, monthly support, everything she needed to survive with dignity. But I never visited often. Every time I saw her, I felt the weight of what could have been. One evening, she sent me a letter. I don't blame you. I blame myself. I traded real love for temporary gold, and now I understand the cost. If God gives me another life, I will choose differently. A few months later, I received a call. She had passed away quietly in her sleep. I attended her funeral alone. There were no rich men, no luxury, just silence. As I stood there, I realized something painful and true. Life doesn't punish us immediately. It waits. And when it does, it takes everything at once. I walked away richer than ever, but heavier than before. Because some lessons come too late. And some love stories don't end with reunion. They end with forgiveness, regret, and a quiet goodbye.